is Yeda Gerabello, a Brazilian girl guide. Yeda and 12 other bandeirantes from Brazil came to this country in 1961. The trip was made possible by the Juliet Low World Friendship Fund in cooperation with the Experiment in International Living. The bandeirantes visited the 12 regions of the United States not only to observe, but to be part of our way of life. Yeda lived with a Girl Scout family in Norristown, Pennsylvania. Deeply interested in architecture and interior decorating, Yeda saw many interesting examples of early American life in Norristown. She was especially intrigued by this colonial spinning wheel. The Friends Meeting House. A spare but sturdy structure still used for Sunday meetings, though it dates back to the American Revolution. Here Yeda sees one of the places where Girl Scouts may perform their duty to God in quiet contemplation. Until this day, Yeda had never been on roller skates. Senior Scout friends stood by, but there was no cause for concern. Visiting nearby Philadelphia, Yeda saw the first capital of the United States. So many new sights and sounds, tastes and touches. Yeda became partial to our ice cream. One night, she treated her adopted family to a Brazilian favorite, rice and beans. A tasty South American staple, deliciously prepared with North American ingredients. It was here that Yeda really became part of an American family. Yeda and her new friends have found their hearts a little wider, their minds a little broader, because of this opportunity to blend the ways of life of two continents in one family.
In the spring of 1961, the first All-Africa Conference on Guiding was held at Kampala, Uganda, under the sponsorship of the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. This filmed report was made possible by the United States Information Agency in conjunction with the Girl Scouts of the USA. Leaders, commissioners, and guiders from 29 African nations and dependencies met to discuss how the Girl Guide movement can serve Africa. The theme of the conference was brotherly love. An emphasis was placed on the aims of guiding to stimulate in girls a sense of responsibility and respect for others. A few miles from the conference, an encampment of African guides gave the delegates an opportunity to see local guiding in action. At the conference, the patrol system was highlighted as the most valuable method of giving guides experience and practical training in assuming responsibility and leadership. Each night, the delegates participated in programs of music and dance. From the Sudan, the pigeon dance. The delegates carried home with them the conviction that girl guiding, with its central idea of strong character and high purpose, would be a potent factor in the democratic development of new nations.
From Norway, Mexico, the United Kingdom, France, Denmark, and the United States, we came to the United Nations building in New York. The occasion to launch a nationwide project of Girl Scouting's birthday years, the Heritage Trail. We were greeted by the national president and vice president and at lunch were guests of the permanent missions to the United Nations of each of our countries. The main topic of conversation was the trail. 4 teams of girls, 15 to 19 years old, would tour the historic and present-day landmarks in the 4 sections of the country. Mrs. Charles U. Culmer, National President of the Girl Scouts, spoke of the responsibility of each scout and guide to share her impressions with those at home. Ambassador Plimpton, United States Deputy Representative to the United Nations, gave an inspiring send-off to the 40 members of the international and American teams, who would meet again 6 weeks later in Lawrence, Kansas, to share the highlights of their cross-country tour.